Am I on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dave Stones. I'm at the University of Texas at Austin, and I was SACRAO president for the 1993 meeting, which was held at the Radisson Plaza Hotel in Fort Worth, Texas. We had some interesting issues. Nothing really critical, I don't think, but we had some things we worked on during the time that I was president of SACRAO. The thing that pleased me the most probably was the movement to electronic media for communication among members of the executive committee and the program chairs in planning the meeting, and that we got universal access to BitNet internet during that time, and so we were able to communicate really well. We restructured the EEO committee into a professional access and equity committee, and with a lot of help from Bruce Cunningham and Hope Walton, we achieved some things there and kept that force actively moving forward. We also worked on the site rotation and tried to get away from the 4 regions to a 3-region rotation, which is in place now and which appears to be working a little bit better. The meeting itself, though, was in Fort Worth, and it was a real successful meeting. And you can't talk about that without talking about Jack Thornton, who is the LAC chair. And Jack is a real crusty individual, former SACRAO president, and he has his own way of doing things, but he's extremely reliable. And he had everybody else on the executive committee just on nails, thinking that he wasn't taking care of all the things, which some of us knew that he would get done. He insisted on an extremely low registration fee, despite all of the objections of the rest of the LAC. And then he proceeded to negotiate a real good deal with the hotel, and he ended up making a profit, which is the last thing they wanted to do. And so he disposed of that by providing champagne for the final breakfast, which was somewhat controversial, but he wanted to make sure that he didn't put anything back into the treasury. Another interesting thing, I thought, was the appointment of Gary Gibson of Vanderbilt to be chair of the Resolutions Committee. And I felt real proud about that, because I thought that Gary had a real good sense of humor. He turned that around on me when he brought Paul Welch out in his Ross Perot ears, his single straight line graph to show all the trends which had happened in SACRAO that year. And they did a pretty good job of making fun of the organization and of Richard Yount, who followed me as president, and also a little bit of me too, I suppose. So I felt real good about that appointment and about their presentation. I felt real good about the meeting too. It was a fun meeting, and we got lots of people involved who hadn't been before. It was a real honor for me to serve as president, and I got to meet a lot of really neat people that way. Thanks a lot.
3 minutes. Exactly.
Time out.
Everything through?